Tonight, more wireless steel heading for the Inland Rail project, and Nyrstar to use more Mid-North businesses for its Port Pirie smelter operations.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening, thanks for your company this Tuesday evening. 6,000 tonnes of wireless steel will be used for an inland rail project between Brisbane and Melbourne. The innovative rail design is aimed at improving efficiency.
Going from strength to strength. Machinery at the Whyalla Steelworks is showing no sign of stopping.
It is very exciting that we're developing this new and innovative rail.
After supplying 14,000 tonnes of rail for the Inland Rail project between Melbourne and Brisbane last year, Liberty Steel will now produce an extra 6,000 tonnes.
So this is new, and what this really is the next generation of rail product.
The new design will be easier to install, cheaper to maintain, while supporting train speeds of up to 115 kilometres an hour.
It's quite a rare event in the railway industry to have a new design of the rail itself.
While there'll be no extra jobs created, Liberty Primary Steel says it will provide stability to the existing workforce.
I think it's all very exciting because at the end of the day it's more jobs back in Whyalla and keeping that steel plant busy.
Pending the success of this latest batch of rail line, Liberty Primary Steel says it hopes to provide even more products for the $10 billion Inland Rail project.
We continue to work very closely with ARTC on provision of rail, and we would hope to be providing certainly the rail for the whole project.
Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Nyrstar will buy more from Mid-North businesses through a local procurement program. The smelter's new chief making the announcement to local businesses during a morning breakfast.
Prioritising Port Pirie business. The city's biggest employer has identified a need to fill $8.6 million in services and will be looking local to fill the hole.
Effectively, it's giving back a little bit to the community that supports us instead of purchasing from more remote places like Melbourne or Adelaide or international.
The company saying it's resetting its approach to working with local businesses after identifying a need to improve its relationship with the business community.
And it means that when we recruit people to come and work for us on the smelter, there are jobs for partners and children and families here in town.
The program has the potential to deliver 44 new jobs to the region. Both council and Business Port Pirie excited about the plans.
$8.6 million we're talking about today might not sound a lot, but in a small community of this size, it is massive.
Not only is a benefit for contractors and people that will work directly with Nyrstar, it'll have a flow-on effect for other businesses.
Nyrstar looking to establish a second-tier agreement for smaller companies who are unable to meet the plant's demands.
We intend to reach out to our major and strategic suppliers and ask them to partner with us and partner with some of the local businesses.
Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Meanwhile, Nyrstar have confirmed they expect the smelter to return to full operation as soon as next week. They're aiming for the TSL to be online between the 17th and the 19th of July, with the blast furnace to start production on the 23rd. Mr. Clift says while it was a frustrating period, there was a silver lining, with the outage giving them the chance to thoroughly inspect the smelter.
An opportunity of opening every inspection door on the plant and getting into places that you normally wouldn't manage in a short shutdown.
The plant has been out of action since late May. 3 youths have been arrested in Whyalla following a string of break-ins at a local school. Just after 7 p.m. on Saturday, police responded to a silent alarm at a school on Nicholson Avenue. The following day, another alarm was activated, with police arresting 2 youths fleeing the scene. A third boy allegedly linked to them was arrested yesterday afternoon. They've been charged with criminal trespass and will appear in the Whyalla Youth Court at a later date. Broken Hill Police are urging those travelling across the school holidays to take care on our roads. They say with more traffic on the highways and wintry conditions settling in, one mistake could be fatal.
Holidays can be a time to get away, but it pays to be cautious.
With the school holidays, with increased volumes of traffic in the area, we need people to just be mindful of fatigue and speed in particular.
193 people have died on New South Wales roads this year. In South Australia, the toll is 61. Police say one major cause of these fatalities is driver fatigue.
Take a rest at least every 2 hours, have a break, stop, have a coffee, whatever. Don't try and drive any more than about 6 or 8 hours in an entire day.
More caravans are currently on the roads. Acting Inspector Schaefer says it's important to have a clear line of sight and plenty of room to overtake. That advice also goes to getting past road trains.
Keep their mirrors in vision. If you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you. Generally speaking, if they know you're there, they will make allowances and they will slow down if they see you starting to overtake.
With the winter weather bringing heavy rain in recent weeks, police are also reminding motorists to drive to the conditions, whether it's slowing down in a downpour or being mindful of pools of water on the road.
If you enter a dip in the road where there's standing water, you may lose traction, vehicle may aquaplane and you're in all sorts of bother.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, Broken Hill Council pushing for a new skate park and a local legend among the winners of Port Augusta's NAIDOC Awards. Hello again. Broken Hill Council has renewed its push for a new skate park. With over $300,000 earmarked in the recent budget, they're hoping to get the state government on board.
A project that many want to get off the ground. In April last year, Council put forward some concept ideas for a new skate facility in Sturt Park.
About 130 people responded to our question as to which one they prefer. There was really positive feedback from the community back then.
Since the survey, Council has been on a grind to pay for the project. Council set aside $350,000 in this year's budget for the park and now wants to combine that with state funding.
There's $843,000 available for local projects benefiting youth and community through the Building Stronger Country Communities program.
The city's younger skaters keen to see an upgrade.
Some safety rails for like the little kids.
Resi and bowls and rails, because there used to be rails but they got stolen.
I just wish that there wasn't as much graffiti as there is.
Council will be making a submission for state funding. It says they will continue to consult with the kids who use the skate park to get a feel of what's needed.
If you say a ramp and they don't know it, you could tell them and then they could do the ramp.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
And the Mulka Aboriginal Art Prize has celebrated its 10th year at an event in Port Augusta overnight. The idea for a display of Aboriginal art was born from the late Marvin McKenzie Sr. a decade ago. 10 years on, and the exhibition now includes artists from the northwest of the state, with 40 pieces entered this year.
To have his memory, but his dream continue, is awesome.
Jaja Dare was awarded this year's prize for her painting about assimilation. Former AFL star Mark Meckin has visited the region this week, opening up about his journey in football and struggles with Parkinson's disease. His story helping raise awareness and support for the debilitating illness.
Coming together to support each other and listen to shared stories.
We are raising awareness about Parkinson's disease. Our local support group has actually brought Mark Meckin over.
Around 80 locals gathered in Tumby Bay, listening to Mark detail his battle with Parkinson's.
My tremors got so bad in my feet that I was starting to shuffle instead of walk, and my right hand continually shakes.
The football star was the first captain of the Brisbane Bears and coached West Adelaide in 2015. He was first diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2016, undergoing deep brain stimulation later that year.
It's been very good for me in terms of my feet. Still got a bit of work to do on my right hand, but it's coming along well.
His story with Parkinson's similar to Todd Murfitt, who has young onset Parkinson's. 1 in 10 people diagnosed with the disease are under 50 years old.
Most people think you have to be elderly to get this disease, which is just not the case.
If you're someone you know is struggling, contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A spotlight has been shone upon the leaders in Port Augusta's Indigenous community as part of the NAIDOC Awards, one of the region's most renowned woodcarvers, also claiming a state honour.
Smiles all round as the best and brightest in Port Augusta's Indigenous community show off a new piece of silverware. NAIDOC Week starting with a bang at Central Oval, the awards a nod to the past, present and future. Leading the youth movement with a passion for drama and art, Siobhan McKenzie's goal is to complete her SACE. The past student is also eyeing off long-term ambitions of becoming a teacher.
I felt pretty proud of myself because I've been working really hard this year.
For Priscilla Forbes, her honour for Person of the Year was a pleasant surprise. Years of volunteering for local community groups and the NAIDOC board not going unnoticed.
I guess I'm just putting my hand up for anything and everything. Like I was here until late last night, even helping decorate the birthday cake.
But the biggest applause held till last, with experienced woodcarver Uncle Roy Coulthard taking out the coveted Lifetime Achievement Award.
I've wanted to keep this culture going because we're going to lose it if we don't teach our younger generations.
And if that wasn't enough of the spotlight, he was also named as South Australia's Male Elder of the Year at the State Awards. These three just a few in a long list of winners. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Congratulations to all the winners there. Stay with us after the break. We'll have the latest soccer and netball scores from across the region. And Britt will have the weather details. Hello again. The Calatumbi Festival could soon be recognised as one of the best street art festivals in the nation. Organisers entering the event into the inaugural Australian Street Art Awards.
It's the biggest mural on the Lower Eyre Peninsula. The Silo Art and Calatumbi Festival is going national after being entered in the Australian Street Art Awards.
One of the major benefits of street art is that it creates a landmark for rural and regional towns to be able to say, this is something that only we have.
The awards judging hundreds of street art around Australia, focusing on how it's used to attract visitors to the community. Dion Lebrun says he thinks the Calatumbi Festival has a chance of winning after this year's stellar festival.
In excess of 2,000 people in Tumby Bay over that 3-day period. Outside visitor numbers, the town was constantly full that weekend.
Artwork around the region is continuing to grow, with more artists taking to the paint cans, colouring in their town.
A lot of Australians really love getting out onto the road and being able to see something that's really different in these rural and regional areas.
And the publicity they've generated has helped drive increased visitor numbers and spending in not only Tumby Bay but Lower Eyre Peninsula.
The awards will be announced later this year. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Good luck to the organisers, hope you do well. Looking across to sport now, where the netball has been heating up across our region, with a number of tight matches across the leagues. Dominic Beaton has this week's Sports Wrap.
It's been another big week in Port Pirie for netball, with Blue Wren defeating Solomon Town by 24 goals. A tighter match between SM Celtic and Central Risdon, with the Celtics inching over the line in a 7-goal victory. The Celtics' own Madison Caputo taking home the league's Intersport Player of the Week. In Port Augusta, and it was a race to the finish line between the Railways and the Vikings. The Railways taking home the win in a 1-goal nail-biter, building a 2-game buffer between second and third place on the ladder. In the other match of the round, St Joseph's outclassed the Magpies to keep their perfect record of 10 wins from 10 matches this season. Heading south to the York Peninsula Netball, and Butte have defeated Pascaville by 8 goals. CMS Crows continue to show why they're the team to beat, with an impressive 29-goal victory over middle-of-the-pack Southern Eagles. Kadina look hungry to take the title after a 68-goal thrashing of Wallaroo, and Moonta had a comfortable win over the Cougars, 45-26. In the Northern Areas League, Orroroo have defeated bottom of the ladder Crystal Brook 43-27. Jamestown Peterborough narrowly missed out on defeating second place Southern Flinders in a 2-goal loss. And Broughton Mundura continue to solidify their position in front of the pack after a 12-point victory over BMW. In soccer, and Port Pirie's Northern Demons have lost 2-1 to second place Gawler in the round 16 of the State League. In Whyalla, a top-table showdown between the Wanderers and Westlands United has resulted in a dramatic finish for the Blues, who scored a thrilling 2 goals in the dying 5 minutes of the game to take home the win. And Still United overcame a dogged Lions side to win 3-2 on Sunday. That's it for another week of sport from across the region. And a congratulations to Savoy Soccer Club in Port Pirie, who celebrated their 70th birthday over the weekend. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Dom. Weather now, and it was a foggy morning. However, it cleared into a sunny day. Here's Britt with the details.
Thanks, John. Well, after a frosty and foggy morning, today was actually rather pleasant, with mostly sunny conditions across the region and maximums 2 to 3 degrees above average. Port Augusta and Whyalla both reached tops of 19, Port Lincoln and Port Pirie both 17, Broken Hill and Adelaide 16 degrees. To today's skies, where the high pressure system near Port Augusta began to weaken and move towards the northeast. Tomorrow, a vigorous cold front will cross our region. We should see exactly 10 hours of daylight tomorrow, with the sun rising at 7:24 and setting at 5:24. And we can expect strong westerly winds on the Gulf waters, with seas at 1 metre. Those winds will affect most parts of our region tomorrow, with speeds of up to 50 kilometres an hour in the afternoon. We'll also see showers and rain, so all in all, a pretty miserable day ahead, even with maximum temperatures creeping up a few degrees. Port Augusta with a top of 21 tomorrow, Whyalla 20, Corn, Broken Hill and Port Pirie 19, Woodner 18, Port Lincoln and Kadina 17, Coffin Bay, Cleve and Adelaide 16, Clare 15. Moving on to the remainder of the week, Port Lincoln expecting showers Thursday, strong winds and rain again on Friday, before a fine and partly cloudy Saturday. Cleve, showers Thursday and Friday, looking fine on Saturday. Woodner, showers on Thursday, heavier falls on Friday, Saturday looking partly cloudy. Whyalla remaining partly cloudy from Thursday, Port Augusta looking partly cloudy on Thursday, with showers expected on Friday. Kadina, showers Thursday, a windy day on Friday, then looking fine into the weekend. Port Pirie expecting showers every day for the rest of the week. Clare, rain on Thursday, showers on Friday, Saturday remaining fine. Broken Hill remaining fine through till the weekend. So it's looking to be a wild and windy day tomorrow. Keep dry and stay safe on the roads. And with that, John, it's back to you.
Some wise advice there, Britt. We want everyone to leave and get home safely. Thanks for that. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks so much for your company. I'll have some updates later in the evening, but until then, enjoy your evening here on 7. On behalf of the team, it's good night.